Alright, everybody, welcome in. We've got Skyro playing as Tenri up against Rasposo playing as Elodie. They're taking this to jungle season. I am very curious what is going to happen here.
Oh, I'm wondering if we're gonna see a frog steal.
Maybe. I mean, part of me, for a moment, because I'm so used to this having a rifle on the map, would be like, Elodie could have a really cool play where she yoinks a unit for a turn and kills the enemy rifle. I don't know if the timing really like works out quite well enough for it, but I mean obviously that's not going to happen because frogs are quite a bit tankier than rifles, it has to be said.
Well, if you don't heal the frog, then it dies to a bunch of things, I think. A spear would definitely kill a 60% frog because actually a spear just kills a frog with 0 defense, and there's a lot of road on this map, so that could be a thing.
Oh yeah.
Steal a spear to go snipe the frog. I will say, Elodie probably the weaker of the two commanders in this game.
Yeah, I mean Tenri is definitely a strong commander. And we got to see you playing Tenri during the finals and making good work of her, and I do not think Elodie would have been quite so effective.
Looks like Rasposo's making a few opening inaccuracies. So that's gonna hurt, I guess. But nothing too major so far.
Skyro putting some pressure on that early swords. Gonna do nice work actually, because all of a sudden this capturing that's gonna be taking place, and Ellie actually has to slow down and take this sword out. That's not what you want to have happen. You want to be far more aggressive with Commander.
Yep. And oh wow, that frog baited me. I thought it was gonna heal.
Okay. How do harpies do against frogs?
Well, it's both good when you have a harpy with your frog, and it's also bad when your opponent has a frog against your harpy. I guess
I
it's
was
kind of
thinking,
true
like,
of every unit.
would a harpy kill a 60% health frog?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Probably, because harpies tend to do good damage to water units. So I would not be surprised if that happens.
Just thinking about it, Ellie tier 1 actually coming up really quick.
Yeah,
My
150, so it's not that fast, it's just open season giving it off groove early.
Yeah, Commander is very active, lots of early fights going on.
I mean, yeah, Tenri also has groove.
Very true. They're doing some nice work early on, and oh yeah, just barely. Although, ooh, you can kill the harpy because the mage will just kill it. Oh, that's so smart.
Alright. I thought I was gonna hit the frog, but frog out of range, so we won't find that out.
Yeah, but
still, like, deals with the harpy pretty effectively.
yeah, and it's a nice little bit of chip damage on the mage. Puts it just below where one mage heal would bring it to full as well, so it's actually like a very annoying percentage to be at.
Yeah, and I mean, it probably still one-shots harpies at this HP. But it doesn't one-shot balloons, and Rasposo just built one, so there we go.
It's nice. Spear balloon. I'm not a huge fan of spear balloon on this map, having played it a bunch. I think you lose a bit too much tempo, but it probably works quite nicely with Elodie, just because you can go in, grab something, and then use your spears to keep Elodie safe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Spear Balloon can lose to, you know, just a very hefty amount of golems, let's say,
Oh yeah,
which looks like Skyro is going for.
yeah, Skyro definitely banked at some point and is now just printing golems, which, you know, is what you do. You just
This
want
is
to get...
the unfortunate meta developments of some maps.
We gotta get more trebs. All we gotta do, we just gotta get more
Well,
trebs on these
or
maps.
we gotta get Elodie buffed so she can, you know, yoink every golem you print out.
Yeah, also true. You could do with a bit of love. She definitely got a little bit over nerfed just before the game came out.
Yeah. One thing in Wargroove 1, like one of Wargroove 1's late meta that was pretty cool was that if a map was like too golem centric, then Elodie would start to come out on it. And then the map was back to not being too golem centric.
That's
So
kind of
like
funny.
Elodie was a very cool balancing factor for metas.
Ooh, that's a really nice pickup actually.
Yeah, and I mean this is the side you want to fight on probably. Elodie's there's no golems there. So yeah, just keep building Groove, cause you're gonna need to yoink some golems eventually.
Alright, Harpy gonna go
Oh,
down, but
yeah, does lose the Harpy.
kills a knight for it though, which I think is actually a pretty good trade.
Yeah, generally killing a knight for with your Harpy is worth it. Because like Harpy scales worse than a knight into later fights. Generally.
I do wish there was a little bit more on this left hand side though, because that's a lot of just like random kind of garbage units to fight into.
Yeah, this is like a position where on open season with the rifle, you could like position the rifle to support from across the map. And so this would be a good position to take, but you know, this is jungle season, so there is none of these shenanigans, and that means spears are actually better for it. But you know, Skyro built less spears, built less balloons, but
There's 4 golems.
Skyro's spears are looking more effective.
That's too many golems. Like, what do you even do against that? Okay, well, we're gonna start seeing the first crit exactly at 40%. Golem goes down.
Very nicely calculated. That's a nice sequence, actually.
Yeah, that being said, how do you follow this up?
I mean, I guess you put Elodie behind it, hope you can get Groove.
A trebuchet! Someone finally built one. It's gonna take a long time to come out though.
Yeah. Although the frog is gonna speed it up, maybe.
Yeah? Oh, that's a really good point actually.
Yeah, it's actually a 50% more movement per turn.
And can potentially move and fire as well. Also, with that being said, it's against Tenri, who can kill your
Oh
trebuchet.
no, Tenri's gonna get your 2. You know what Tenri wants to grab.
Yeah, or you could use... Does Tenri
You can
shove push it into the mountain?
It only deals 20, but you can send a golem at the treb and then the golem will kill the treb.
Okay.
So yeah, you have plenty of ways to deal with the golem. Oh, Elodie has tier 1 though.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use it on this. Oh, never mind. Could use it on this golem.
No, I'm just gonna spear crit that one down. Makes sense. And actually, if she banks for tier 2, that suddenly becomes very scary.
Yep. The frog looks like, I mean, it saw a good move, so it's not gonna pull the treb.
I think trading a frog for a golem is worth it. But
I mean, it's not a given that it dies here.
that's true.
I guess the knight could trade itself for the frog.
Yeah, because you don't really want to trade the sword for it. No. Actually, it's an injured sword too, so...
Yeah, and Skyro looks like doesn't wanna trade knight for frog, which I think I would do.
The trap
But
march
then,
begins.
yeah, there's we have Trebarch we have some combination names for units and trebs. What do we call frog and treb?
Ooh.
Trog?
I guess you call it like Tonguche, because you got like the frog pulling it.
Yeah, that's an option.
Okay, 1, 3. Oh, so it can hit the village this turn. We could maybe see some like frog action coming in. That being said, the golem count's still really high.
Tenri's at tier 2 at this point, I guess.
Yeah. Slowly gonna see stuff happening here, and yet just gonna use that to pick up that village. And does Tenri come in? That's a very smart mage heal. Because yeah, you don't want to let the frog get
heal the
killed.
frog.
Yeah.
Very nice, actually. You didn't heal the frog all this time, but now you get to mage heal it with golems. Oh, well, say goodbye to that trebuchet.
There it goes. Oh, I injured the golem!
What are you doing, Skyro?
Oh, he
dealt damage to his own army with the tier 2.
Oh no.
Damn.
That's so funny.
You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be like a plus in your toolkit to be able to friendly fire with Tenri tier 2. It's not supposed to be like that. I mean, still kill the treb, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder if Rasposo is gonna build another one next turn.
So, on regular open season you can only build one. I don't know about jungle season though. Because that's a fairly like niche thing to actually remember to put into a map.
Yeah, and Sejhan has already... I mean, not gonna say Sejhan is known to like make mistakes when porting maps, but yeah, it's happened already.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't even know if you call that a mistake. Like, it could just be like a... I mean, I feel like the trap limitation is actually like not needed as well. Just like, nobody was building
generally,
trebuchets.
yeah, you usually don't build 2 trebuchets.
Like, maybe that was done to like make Emmerich a bit weaker, but I don't think even Emmerich really goes trap on this map, so...
It looks like Rasposo actually has somewhat turned things around. Still has to deal with a bunch of golems, but looks like the treb was enough to scare Skyro away for a bit, and then Skyro used Grooved on it, and kinda, that treb probably did its job,
Oh,
Baited
yeah.
Tenri Groove and still did damage. That's very good.
And I think Rasposo's been doing an excellent job dealing with golems. Like, there's been a huge
Yeah.
golem count on this map so far.
And Elodie now has tier 2. So,
Oh, not quite.
well,
172.
effectively. I think that's like close enough that you can get it if you want.
Yeah, there would have
So,
to be
yeah.
a very big engagement, but yeah, like you have to
The
start
golems
respecting
are
it.
running away from Elodie.
Yeah.
And this balloon is now very valuable because you can drop Elodie everywhere and the golems are gonna be constantly running.
Ooh, I love
Oh,
that.
the golems actually have to respect the frog too, because they could be pulled into Elodie groove.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot that can happen here, and we're seeing... I guess this is just like the natural way that this map kind of turns into if you don't have a rifle. I hadn't kind of realized just how important the rifle is.
Yeah, I mean, the rifle is like pretty essential to setting up your attacks on this map. So if you don't have it, it can feel like something's a bit missing in your offensive capabilities. Oh, it looks like Skyro is building a trap themselves.
Alright, here's the question though, does Elodie steal the trap?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It might be the only way she can get another one.
I don't even think it's that good because you steal the trap and then it can't hit what's next to it.
Okay, we're gonna see 2 sword suicides. Ooh, that's not really ideal, but
Alright, gonna
he's
kill
gonna
the
do it.
golem. And Elodie's gonna be right behind, so if you wanna kill that golem in return, you're gonna have to do it without your own golems. I'm surprised we're not seeing any dragons, actually, from Skyro. That
Yeah,
feels like, you probably want something that can damage golems,
I really like the use of the frog pull to line up a night crit as well. Rasposo's getting a ton of value at the frog. I haven't really seen too much from Skyro, it has to be said. Does feel
Yeah, I
like,
guess that frog was mainly to speed up reinforcements.
yeah, and actually in this case, Trebuchet is going to come forward a bit faster. And yeah, it's just like a big shuffling of golems. Like, they really did just like say, I'm going to bank hard for a turn or two. And just print the golems, but now they have to repair. And I think we're going to see like a lot more going on over the next few turns. Like, especially with Elodie with Groove. Like, she can just keep walking forwards.
Yeah, I feel like Skyro's now gonna be fishing for lethals.
Quite a ways away from tier 1 though.
Yeah, looks like Rasposo has all the momentum with this Elodie tier 2. And, maybe we were too quick to write off Elodie. Maybe she still has that impact, that passive impact on golems that she had in Wargroove 1.
Yeah. Yeah, just very strong in this like stage in the game. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to be in this stage of the game, but oh! Skyro!
Skyro gonna surrender. The power of Elodie is too much for Skyro.
I honestly didn't think we'd ever see an Elodie win. Because of like the fact that she's Elodie. That is wild.
Elodie's sheer aura has granted her this victory.
I can understand like wanting to just like step away from a game where you're just like very frustrated and like you just like I don't want to keep playing this, but it's TYM, just walk away, just stop playing for like a week, like come back later.
I mean, yeah, maybe this was like, maybe Skyro had a very important tournament set coming up, so the stress was adding up, and they were like, I don't want to deal with this one.
Maybe, but just leave it alone. Just don't think about it. Just
Yeah, the very first convincing Elodie win, I'd say.
yeah, and a really nice game from Rasposo. They played so well, like so many like punishes on golems that were just out of position. So much good use of the frog. Like Skyro, obviously was using the frog as well, but like Rasposo was like setting up like kills on golems. Used it effectively with the trebuchet beforehand. Was able to like pull knights to safety and line up knight crits as well. Just like really nice plays. And I just wasn't seeing that on the same as with Skyro's use of it. And also, the harpy kill at the start was so smart. Just using the tier 1 to just like get the kill on that harpy in a way that like was almost like Wolfar-esque, where like you golf it onto.
Well, although like it's still slower than Wolfar, and you need an enemy mage to do it.
True, but your opponent is gonna have a mage. Like that's just like the way it works, right? It's like your opponent will just build on.
I mean, it does look really nice. It's just like the moment you compared it to Wolfar, I'm sad again.
I will say though, like maybe that opens up an interesting meta where like if your harpy's near Elodie, you just can't have a mage close by, which is very strange to think of. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, because Elodie is like lower tier, we didn't think of any counterplay to her, but maybe there's a bunch of like, you have to keep your units out of range of each other, which is very unintuitive for Wargroove.
Yeah. Well played. Rasposo takes it, and I mean, winning because your opponent gets frustrated is just as valid as anything else. So, yeah, nicely done.